Good day, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Insane, for those of you who don't know. And in today's episode, I will be doing some basic maintenance on the car. So the car has reported that it's due for a service. I think it's left with like 700 kilometers on the clock for me to do my oil change and my oil service. So that's what I'll be doing in today's episode. So the last time obviously I did my service on the car is when I actually did the S3 swap, like what, 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken now. If you haven't watched that part in that series, I'll give a link in the description where I actually converted my car into an S3 powered engine. So with that being said, it's time for me to change some oil in there, oil filter, air filter, spark plugs, pollen filters, the lot. So that's what I'll be doing today. So we'll be changing all of that, and then yeah, I mean, December season is around the corner. Holiday season are upon us, so gotta make sure that the car is in tip-top shape. All the fluid levels are checked, maintained properly. Make sure that everything is up and running in your car. The last thing you don't want is your car breaking down during the December holidays. So, I mean, in South Africa, yeah, we love our grooves. So yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway, let me show you all the parts that I have, and then I'll walk you through how I actually go about in terms of servicing my car. All right, so this is the stuff that I have. So I've got about 6 liters of oil. Obviously these cars take about 5.5 liters, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere there. So I just bought 6 liters just in case. I've got my 4 spark plugs, my engine flush. Guys, does this thing actually really work, or is it just for show? I don't know. Please do comment leave a comment down and just explain if this thing does really work. But I'll just use it for the sake of, because everyone uses it. So let me try it out again. I've used it in the past, but yeah, it's fine. I'll just use it again since I have an extra can. 4 VW spark plugs. So these are the original NGK ones. So my car was running Bosch spark plugs in the past, so they were fine. Honestly, I didn't have any issues with them, so I'm just going to change with the original VW one. So normally VW would supply you with NGK spark plugs for the same engine. I've got my my oil filter here, my sump plug, and this is a pollen filter. I couldn't find one at the dealership, so I just went to go over and pick up a pollen filter. So yeah, that's the parts that I'll be fitting. Now, you might be asking yourself, where is the air filter? And that's because I'm actually going to be fitting an intake system onto the car. I mean, it's long overdue now. I've had the car swapped over with this engine for over 6 months now, and I haven't actually done any performance upgrades. So the car has been running stock power ever since I converted it. So normal 228 kilowatts and 400 newton meters. So I've never actually done any other mods on the car apart from doing some other retrofits. But in terms of performance wise, it's still running stock power. So I will be fitting a nice custom intake that I got into the car. So I've got a box which has the intake and the turbo elbow to allow for better airflow to go inside the system. So that's why I don't have a stock standard air filter, for that reason. So we will be fitting an intake and boosting up this car obviously to greater heights, but I will be starting it gently. I don't want to jinx it and just go all mad about it. I mean, I don't want to break the car as yet, since it's the December holiday season. So more stuff is coming. Better make sure that you subscribe to check to see me actually doing all of these upgrades onto my car. So for now, I'll start off with the intake system and I'll be fitting that. So let me show it to you. And there it is. So this in here is my little turbo elbow kit. I have it in here. You can see even it has a nice curve to it. It allows for better airflow into the system. So that will be going into the car. And in this big box here is my intake system. So I'm gonna have to build it up. So it comes with these heat shield that obviously protect for excess heat from the engine to stop it from entering the intake system. So two plates of this, I have to build that up. So we've got my intake pipe, and in here is my filter element. So if you see, can just open this guy up for you guys, and then this is my filter element. So this is gonna look sick, guys. This is gonna definitely look sick. And this is the other pipe that connects to the intake into the turbo elbow, because obviously now I'm changing the elbow size. I need this converter pipe to go with it. So that's what I'll be doing and that's what will be fitting, guys. It's going to be an interesting one. So all of these things will be fitted now after I'm done doing my service. So after servicing the car, I will do a fluid level check on the car just to top out any coolant if it's low, check the brake fluid, even maybe check the gearbox oil as well, but I'll do that all off camera. You don't have to, I don't have to bore you with that, but yeah, I'll do all the fluid level checks once I'm done with the service, and then fit back the intake. So let me start off with the service. So I need to take off the under trays, catch the oil with a bucket or something. I'll see if I have a bucket that I will use to drain the oil, and then pretty much take it from there. Let's go. So I've already jacked up the car off camera. So you see I still have a stock box in here. So my intake system is still very much stock in here. So yeah, the next thing, obviously, it's spark plugs as well. So I have to take all of these spark plugs out, the air box out, and then replace it with that nice intake that I have. So in the meantime, also you see my washer fluid level is low, so I'll just top that up. I'll just obviously double check if all of my other fluids are still in check, and then just check underneath if anything is also damaged as well, and then make sure that I replace it if I do pick up something that is also damaged. But yeah, that's the easy part. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I just took out the sun plug underneath the car, and yeah, the oil is busy draining down there, as you can see. I'm just using the bucket to catch it up, and yeah, so I've got my tools ready. So there's this one. It's a 32 socket that goes here for obviously. So, and for my spark plugs I need to use 10 mils. So I've got this custom made 10 mil because I needed to hold the lower nut over here, because sometimes when you twist this, it will twist everything together. So that will counter the one that's at the top. So then use this to undo the top nut, and then that will hold, and then I can take it off nicely. So yeah, just do that, and then obviously repeat in all four. Take out the coil packs. Once I'm done taking out the coil packs, that will drain. Let me just pull this dipstick and open up this so that oil flows faster. So once I'm done with all of that, then just take the spark plugs out, remove them, and then fit back new ones, and then reversal of removal. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let me quickly set up and then continue with the spark plug removal. Okay, I've undone that. All four of these are undone, so it's just a matter of just grabbing this thing and try and pull it. So now you have to be careful with these coil packs, because if you pull it up weirdly, the head might break, and then yeah, you will be in a lot of trouble. Once that happens, your car won't start anymore. So when you're doing this service, it's best to at least warm your car up a bit, so that at least these rubber grommets underneath the car become nice and soft, because if they're not and the car is still cold, it is very difficult to pull it. So I'm gonna just try and pull this. Let me get this out the way, and also be careful of these ground wires, because they are very weak. So if you undo them weirdly, they will break off, and yeah, you will have to now find another grounding spot. But there is another solution to actually replace these things, and just buy a grounding harness. I've seen it online being sold, which replaces this useless things. But yeah, for now, let me try and pull this out. You can see it's very tight. Whew. There we go. That's one coil pack. Just gonna put it here, and then repeat this process for the remaining four. So here we go. All four coil packs are now out, and then the next step we can move on to taking out the spark plugs, which I need the socket. So it's a 16 mil socket to do the spark plugs. So just hold it in there and take your wrench and then untighten it. Okay, here's the spark plug for cylinder number 1, and it's really not bad at all actually. It's burning off nicely, I think. Yeah, do let me know, guys, what do you think? Is it in good condition? Is it bad? But I think it's not too bad, I really think it's not too bad. So yeah, these are the old Bosch spark plugs that I had running. So let me just fish out the other 4. That's on cylinder number 2. Number 2 also seems to be alright. Let's check number 3. This is number 3. I don't know. I think they're still fine. Eh? I think these can still run quite, quite a while. So let's just check number 4 as well. Just fish it out with my magnet. I still need to undo it a little bit more. Just fish it out with the magnet. This is number 4. This is the condition of number 4. So I don't know, guys. You let me know in the comments. Is it a good burnout of the spark plug? Is it running lean, rich? I don't know. But yeah, it looks like they're okay in my opinion. So these are the 4 spark plugs. These are the old ones. I'll just be doing, fitting back these from VW. So let me do that quickly. These are the VW spark plugs. You can see they are NGK sparks. If I can just get this thing to focus. Come on, there we go. So it's an NGK VW AG. So it's 4 of these. I'll be fitting them back into the car. So obviously when you're fitting back these spark plugs, you don't want to throw them up because you might end up bending the tip. So just have to try and put it as gently as possible. You can also still use the magnet as well and then try to fish it back in. But yeah, just be gentle. Don't throw these things down because you will damage the tip and then you will have another bad day. The torque spec, I think for this it's like 30 Newton meters. So I've got my torque range here. So 30 to 30. I think it's 30, somewhere between 25 and 30. I'll put the correct torque, but I'm going to do it to 30 Newton meters. So just plug that in. And then that's 30 Newton meters. So I'm going to do it for all the remaining 3. So. Alright, now that the surface is done, I've dropped the car on its floor now so that at least it's nice and low. So I need to remove the airbox and then build that up and then fit this thing back in. So to take this entire airbox out, just have to do these 2 bolts here, take out the cover, undo the T30 here, undo the T30 there, and then remove the entire cover. Just make sure that you watch out of this coolant cable, coolant line, because there's a little tab here. If you take it out weirdly, or maybe hook it up, you can break that connector piece up there, and yeah, it's a problem. You're gonna have to buy a new one. But yeah, just be careful when you're taking this pipe out. Take this and then undo the clamp with the hose clamp. So you need one of these, and yeah, simply just pop out the airbox, and you have to undo here at the back. So there's a spring band clamp here, I think it's called. Undo that, and then for the turbo elbow, to remove that, undo the what do you call this? There's this breather line that connects to the PCV, and then there's one bolt holding it at the back. There's just that it's very difficult to see because it's dark, but yeah, there's a bolt that holds the turbo elbow, and then you just simply pull it out. So let me try and take out everything and then build the intake, because I have to build the whole cover that holds here, that covers up the heat shield in here, and then once I'm done with that, put in the new turbo elbow, put the pipe in, and then from the pipe in, the cone filter goes in, and then we should be done. Okay, so I built it up. So obviously this sits like so at the top of the intake, and these rubbers that I'm trying to fit here, I think this other one as well sits at the top here for just to protect. I think when you shut the hood or the bonnet, it protects the bonnets from these sharp edges, I think. So I'm just gonna once I'm done buttoning everything up, I'll just obviously add these rubbers after I've done with my test fits. And then these grommets here replace the old one. They fit here so that you can plug your intake in place, and then there's another one underneath here, so when you push it in so that it's nice and firm, it doesn't fall off or come loose. And then here's the pipe that goes into the boost pipe, and then eventually into the turbo elbow, which is this guy. So yeah, let me continue taking all of this apart, and then we'll take it from there. Not taking it apart, but fitting it up, building it up.
A few moments later.
Yeah, you see now what I meant. I snapped off this bolt that goes back to the heater pipe. I see coolant is now leaking. This pipe is broken. Now I need a new pipe that connects this small pipe to there, but damn. All right, let me see if I can get another one. But anyway, there is a T, what do you call this? A T30, I believe, that you have to undo in order for me to take out the turbo elbow. So I'm really disappointed for that. It's my bad actually. So but it's something that I'll sort out. I'll just buy another coupling there from Goldwagen and then fit it back in. It's easy. But let's continue. At least coolant is stopped leaking. But yeah, let me grab a T30, which I have here. So this is a T30. Just try and find some room to take it out, and then you just, oh wow, it was even loose actually. Interesting. Okay, let me see if I can do this one-handed. But okay, so just have to twist this guy outwards and then just pull it. There we go. Whew. Okay, this is the turbo elbow, the old one. This is how it looks. This is how the old factory turbo elbow looks from the dealer. This is the one that will be going back in. You can easily straight away tell that this is a much larger piece compared to that. I mean, that is very tiny. You can see how it shrinks when it goes there. This one directs a lot more air inside the cold turbo, inside the turbocharger. So this will definitely give, I don't know, a good 2 horsepower increase. Probably more, but yeah, this is the old one out, and then I'll have to fit this new one in. So to fit it in, there is these grooves here, you can see. You have to align them properly with the turbo and then just lock it up in place like so, and then put in a bolt. So let me just clean some residue there.
More moments later.
All right, so I just had to make a quick detour to VEG Junkyard. Shout out to the boys. Yeah, they got me the piece that I need to replace there that's damaged. So it's about an hour away from my home, but I got the piece. I'm gonna quickly change out that coolant hose that goes to the heater matrix, and then carry on fitting back my turbo elbow because I couldn't because of that. And it's a Sunday today, and all the shops are closed anyway. So VW Audi space, if you want, shout out, hit your boys up at VEG Junkyard. They'll sort you out. So let me quickly fit this bad boy in, take out the old pipe. I'm going to lose some coolant obviously because that obviously runs under coolant, and then I'll just top it up. I've got another 1.5 liter bottle of coolant, and then I'll refill it. Let me just quickly fit this back in. I'll catch you guys shortly. Okay, so we now have to install this connector pipe. So this pipe goes and connects onto the turbo elbow. So we've got these 2 clamps here. So this little one goes in here like so. And just align it properly. That fits there, and then obviously this will fit here once I have the pipe fitted. So I'm going to quickly just install this. Make sure that it's nice and flush into the turbo elbow. Yep, and then just take a flat screwdriver and then just tighten up the clamp. Right, that feels nice and tight. And then we can now take in my boost pipe and my filter element and the tray that sits here, and then bolt that up. But we first need to fit these grooves into these places here. Let me just see if I can do that now. That's one. There's three of them on which clamp on top of the battery tray here. There's two, and the third one here. There we go, nice and fitted in. Now take the tray, let me just grab it. Now we need to take the tray, which I already bolted up. You can see it's bolted up nicely in here. And this is my boost pipe, my intake pipe. Let me just take that off the plastic so that you can have a nice view of how big it is. There we go. That's nice and big. So this is an 85 millimeter pipe, intake pipe. So it's quite nice and thick. I love the powder coating that this thing has. So this side connects at the elbow, the turbo elbow, and this is where the filter element goes. So I'll just set this guy on the side now, and then this tray fits in here. So just line it up with these grooves. Remember, there's one also underneath here, so I have to make sure that it's nicely aligned to this thing, to the tray here underneath. So yeah, that's what I need to do. And then install this guy in, and then just push it down. There you go, you get a click. There you go. Oops, just be careful of the pipe again. Like I mentioned, these pipes can be finicky, so if I don't want to end up snapping this again like what I did with that side. So there we go, it's nice and solid. And then I need to grab my filter element. Let me just quickly grab it this side. So this is the filter. Nice and big. So that obviously now then goes and bolts into there, so it fits nice and perfectly. And then obviously we've got our clamp to tighten it up, and then we just simply put it in there like so. This goes in here, and then I just need to, you see, if you can check, this intake has this little piece here, right? So this piece sits at this slot here in the the vacuum pump. So there's a bolt that holds this thing in place so that it doesn't move around, which is quite cool. And then this obviously is for the vacuum hose, which is going to be this little guy here. It goes and plugs in there. So nice and easy, quick install. Let's go. And there we are, intake is now installed. This is an open top intake that I have. So look how nice this thing is. Just goes all the way into the new boost pipe and then inside the new turbo elbow. So the pipe has been also connected here at the back. Fixed up obviously the coolant hose coupling that broke, but yeah, it's nice and solid, no flex or no play whatsoever. So yeah, the next thing that I think I will install is this cover here, this ducting here at the front. I think this would give me enough flow into the intake itself directly, so without actually losing enough airflow. Because if I leave it open like this, obviously I won't get, you know, the maximum amount of air in there. So to maximize it, I will take, where is it? So this duct here, and try and fit it back in place here, because obviously when I have the ducting in, it channels air inside this place and then directly into the intake. So I will fit these things back in so that I have that maximum flow into the intake. So, but there it is. What do you guys think? How does it look? I think it looks amazing. I love it. But now, next thing that we need to do obviously is to test how it now sounds with the new intake system. Oh, I'm excited about this. So let's test it. Now that is an intake sound system. It sounds so amazing. I hope you guys like it as well. So I'm just gonna quickly button it up now and then just finalize everything and then top out the coolant. I lost a lot of coolant with that pipe, so it was complaining about coolant, so I couldn't run it for long. So, but what do you guys think? Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I love it. I really do love it. I hope you guys also love it too. But yeah, let me quickly just button it up and then I'll go for a quick test drive and see how it sounds on the road. Okay, so I'm about to just go for a quick test drive. So I'm gonna just go on a quick test drive. It's already dark, as you guys can see. That's because I had to go to fetch that pipe at Hammanskraal. It's a bit of a distance from Pretoria side, but from Centurion side, but it is what it is. Let's see how this thing sounds. Whew. Straight away you can tell it's much louder. Whew. All right, let me give it a nice pull here. Let's see. Yeah, it definitely does feel alive. It definitely does feel alive. It's breathing quite a lot. Flip. Shoo. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Definitely, it's definitely alive. I'm not sure if it's picking up quite nicely on camera. Yeah, no, definitely. This sounds amazing. This sounds amazing. Sure. Spin is crazy in this thing, guys. As soon as you put your foot down, it just spins its tires all the time. Sure. Yes. Phew. Let me put the car in dynamic. I was still driving in comfort mode, believe it or not. Jesus. Ah, this thing is loud, guys. I'm not sure. I really hope the camera is doing justice so that you can hear the sound properly. Sure.